Good morning, students. Welcome to the maths class. And the topic is inverse trigonometric function. This is a new topic and this is somehow related to trigonometry of class 11. Consider a function fx which is sine function, and you see the graph of sine function. This is not so good, but see, when the angle is 0 means the value of x is 0, sine is 0. At 90 it is maximum 1, at pi it is 0, and you can see at multiple of pi, where it is pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, or minus pi, minus 2 pi, minus 3 pi, the value of sine is 0. Whereas at multiple of pi by 2, here it is pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, this is 1 maximum. Whereas at 3 pi by 2 and 7 pi by 2, minus pi by 2 and minus 5 pi by 2, this is minus 1. So the maximum value of sine function is 1 and minimum is minus 1. I am considering this function, and we already know that the domain d of f, because this function is fx, so I am saying d of f. Domain of sine is all real number, whereas range is closed interval minus 1 to 1. And we already know that the inverse of a function exists if the function is 1 1 on 2, and the inverse will be from set b to a. Suppose a function fx is defined from set a to b, then the inverse will exist and it will be from set b to a, or in simply we can say that the domain of inverse function is range of main function, whereas range will be the domain of main function. Let's take this sine. Here the domain is real number and range is from minus 1 to 1. But you can observe one important thing. See, when we take the value of y, say this value is y or fx, you may say it is y or fx, and this value is of x. So when the value of y, or when the value of fx is half, and when we draw a horizontal line, it cuts the curve at different points. See, this point, and this point, as well as this point. Now we may say for different x we have, so for different x we have same y. It means this function is many one. So this graph is not 1 1 graph, because if we are taking the whole domain, means all real number, this graph is not a 1 1 graph. Therefore here inverse is not possible, but we are learning inverse trigonometric function, so it means we have to restrict the domain of this fx. So now see, if I am taking this portion of the graph, like from here to here, means when this x is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, we are getting a single curve, and when we draw a horizontal line, it cuts only at a single point. So means when we restrict the domain of this function, like minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, plus pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, this is one portion. If we are taking this portion like 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, so means similar cases here also, like minus pi by 2 to minus 3 pi by 2, minus 3 pi by 2, minus 5 pi by 2. So there are different intervals, and if we see in these intervals, this sine function is 1 1 function, and hence if it is 1 1 function, then inverse is possible. So now we can say that the inverse of sine is represented by sine inverse, and when the original function fx is sine, then in inverse function this range will become domain, and this domain must become range. But if we are writing here r, but on R this function is not 1 function. So that's why here in place of range we will take these intervals. Like here we may write any interval, this one, this one, this one, or this one. Please note one thing, it means for different intervals we are getting a different branch of inverse function. It means there are infinite inverse function. Like sine inverse is a function, but for minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 we are getting a different branch of sine inverse. Similarly for pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 different branch of function, for 3 pi by 2 to 5 pi by 2 different branch of function. So please note one thing, here in this chapter we are only interested in principal value branch of function. Means if it is from minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2, we will say this value is principal value branch of y is equal to sine inverse x. So it means when fx is equal to sine x is a function, then its inverse will be represented by sine inverse x, where the domain of sine inverse x will be from minus 1 to 1 and range will be from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Actually there are different ranges, but we will take only principal value. So now one thing is clear, that inverse of sine function is sine inverse and its domain is from minus 1 to 1 and range is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. You can observe one more graph. This is a graph of inverse of sine. Now you can see if we are taking this part, so here the domain is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 and range is from minus 1 to 1. We are considering only this part, but in inverse function this minus 1 to 1 will be the domain and this domain minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 will become range. So this is a graph of sine inverse x, and please one note that the inverse function and the original function are always the mirror image. It means when we assume that this y is equal to x line, which is dotted line, is the mirror, then this y is equal to sine x and y is equal to sine inverse x, both are the mirror image. Now you can see this is sine function, original sine function, and this is the inverse of sine. So always inverse function are the mirror image of each other with the original function about a line which is y is equal to x. Similarly, with the help of graph of cos, tan, sec, cosec and cot, we can understand in which interval the function is 1 1 on 2 and in which interval the inverse of function exists. So this chart is very important and you must remember about domain and range of inverse function. So like these inverse functions are sine inverse x, cos, tan inverse x, cot inverse x, sec inverse x and cosec inverse x. And here you must remember its domain and range, because these points are really very important when we will solve different types of question. So like domain of sine inverse is from minus 1 to 1, whereas range is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Similarly from the graph, domain of cos is minus 1 to 1 but range is 0 to pi. These are closed interval. In case of tan, domain is all real number, because we already know range of tan is all real number. So in inverse case this will become domain, whereas this range will be from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, open interval. In case of cot, domain is all real number, range is 0 to pi, open interval. In case of sec and cosec, you may see the domain is same, whereas range is 0 to pi close interval except pi by 2, and here it is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 except 0. Now I am telling you the basic trick how you will learn it. See here the domain of sine and cos inverse both are same. For tan and cot it is same, and for sec and cosec it is same. Here don't confuse, you may also write it that like mod of x is greater than equal to 1. Means you can say here all the values from minus 1 to 1. So you may say All the values from minus 1 to minus infinity and from 1 to infinity will be taken in case of sec and cosec, right? And here one more thing observe, you have to remember only the range of sine and cos. So this range of sine is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and for cos it is 0 to pi. In case of tan, apply open interval. In case of cot, apply here open interval. It is same. In case of sec, because sec is actually reciprocal of cos, so for sec you write the same range, but remove only one point, which is pi by 2. And for cosec it is same for sine, but don't assume 0, because when sine is 0, cosec is undefined. Similarly, when cos 90 is 0, this sec is undefined. So that's why we are excluding these values. Okay, now based on these information, take a few questions. These are very basic questions. Find the principal values of what is cos inverse root 3 by 2. So we have to find the principal value of cos inverse root 3 by 2. So assume this cos inverse root 3 by 2 is x. So this is cos inverse root 3 by 2. So we already know that cos inverse root 3 by 2, actually this function's value will lie between 0 to pi, because we already know this is a range. So cos inverse is a function and its range is always from 0 to pi. So if we are assuming this cos inverse root 3 by 2 is x, so it means this value of x will be from 0 to pi, because this point is very important, because we have to always make our values between these two values, like 0 to pi. So when this cos inverse root 3 by 2 is x, so inverse is possible, and we can write this, when this cos inverse will come this side, it will become cos x, and it is root 3 by 2. Now see, this cos function is cyclic function. There are infinite angles for which this value is root 3 by 2, but we have to take those values only which lies between 0 to pi. So basic value is that root 3 by 2 is actually cos 30 degree or cos pi by 6. So cos 30, cos pi by 6. And see, when we compare, so x will be pi by 6. Now we have to check one thing, that this x, is it between 0 to pi? Yes, obviously 30 lies between 0 to pi or 180. So x is equal to pi by 6, and what is x? Cos inverse root 3 by 2. So the principal value of this cos inverse root 3 by 2 is pi by 6. Similarly, for tan inverse minus root 3, assume this tan inverse minus root 3 is equal to x. But don't forget, this tan inverse range is from open interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So that's why I have written this x must be between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this tan x will be minus root 3, and write this minus here, and this root 3 is actually tan 60 degree, which is tan pi by 3. Now you see here, this is minus, so make this quadrant, write ASTC, and you see this tan is negative. So where tan is negative? Here and here. So now this minus tan theta can be written as tan of minus theta, because tan of minus theta lies in fourth quadrant. So this minus tan pi by 3 can be written as tan of minus pi by 3. So now when we compare, x will be minus pi by 3, and you see, I have assumed that the value of x must be from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and this minus pi by 3 actually lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So that's why its principal value will be minus pi by 3. Similarly, what is the principal value of sec inverse minus 2? So assume this sec inverse minus 2 is x. Now this is sec inverse x, and we already know that the range of sec inverse x is 0 to pi closed interval, but x should not be pi by 2. So this sec x will be minus 2, because when this sec inverse comes to right hand side, it will be sec in x, and this minus 2 is here, and take reciprocal both sides. So sec can be written as 1 upon cos, and so this minus 2 will also be written as 1 by 2. So this cos will be minus half, and write minus as a same, and minus half is cos 60 degree. So this cos 60 is half, so it is pi by 3. And we already know, like, where is cos is negative, so because we have to remove this negative, right? So you see here all functions are positive. Here sine is positive, here tan is positive, here cos is positive. So cos is negative here, it means cos must lie in second quadrant. So means this minus cos theta can be written as cos 180 minus theta. So I have written this minus cos theta is equal to cos 180 minus theta, because cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. And now solve it. So it will be 3 pi minus pi, to this 2 pi by 3. Now you see this 2 pi by 3 actually lies between 0 to pi. And when we compare, x will be 2 pi by 3. So therefore this x is sec inverse minus 2. So this is the basic trick behind this concept, that when we remember the range of different trigonometric function, easily we can understand what is the principal value, because there are infinite values. Similarly, what will be the value of cot inverse minus 1? So assume this is x, but since this is cot inverse x function, and we already know that the range of cot inverse x is between 0 to pi, that's why I am saying you must remember the range also. So this x must lie between 0 to pi. So our aim is to make x only between these two values. So when this cot inverse minus 1 is x, so cot x is equal to minus 1. So write down minus here, and this 1 can be written as cot pi by 4, because here we have to do only basic values. So it is minus cot pi by 4, cot 45 degree. Now main task is to remove minus, because we cannot compare both sides until unless we remove this minus. So this is minus cot theta. You see here cot is negative here also, and in fourth quadrant. So this minus cot can be written as 180 minus theta. So cot 180 minus theta is minus cot theta. So solve it, you will get 3 pi by 4. So on comparison, you will get x is equal to 3 pi by 4, and this 3 pi by 4 actually lies between 0 to pi. So therefore its principal value will be 3 pi by 4. I hope it is clear. Now take more problem. Here find the principal values of point number 1, sine inverse sine 3 pi by 5. Actually this problem you can directly solve by using formula. We will discuss it, but here I am using the same method. Like if you want to find sine inverse sine of 3 pi by 5, assume the whole value is x, and when this value is x, so it means the value of x will lie between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, because it is the range of sine inverse function, because main function is sine inverse. So we will consider the range of sine inverse, and the range of sine inverse is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, closed interval. And see this x is here, so when the sine inverse comes to this side, this has become sine x is equal to sine 3 pi by 5. Now one thing is that somebody may directly compare, like when sine x is equal to sine 3 pi by 5, so x is equal to 3 pi by 5, right? But this x is between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, whereas 3 pi by 5 is outside pi by 2, right? So we have to make this 3 pi by 5 between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So that's why we will reduce this value. So now this is sine theta, and we know from ASTC concept, all sine, tan, cos, the sine function is positive in second quadrant. So we can shift this angle to the second quadrant by using sine 180 minus theta, because sine 180 minus theta is sine theta. Now solve it. It is 5 pi minus 3 pi, so it becomes 2 pi by 5. Now this 2 pi by 5 actually is less than pi by 2. So that's why the value of x is 2 pi by 5. So that's why I have changed this 3 pi by 5 by 2 pi by 5. Now you can compare that x is equal to 2 by 5. 2 pi by 5, so it means this 2 pi by 5 is actually the value of sine inverse sine 3 pi by 5. Similarly, what is the principal value of cos inverse cos 13 pi by 6? Assume it is x, but this x must lie between 0 to pi because this is the range of cos inverse function. Now this inverse comes to this side, so it becomes cos x is equal to cos 13 pi by 6. Now see this 13 pi by 6, actually when you divide by 6 it will actually more than 2 pi, but we must get the value of x between 0 to pi. Now the trick behind this, when this value is greater than the denominator, you divide it. So divide this 13 by 6, so 6 to 12 1. So this 13 can be written as 6 into 2 plus 1, or there is one also rule, 13 is equal to 2 plus 1 by 6. This quotient plus remainder upon divisor. So this 13 pi can be written as 2 pi plus pi by 6. So we may write like 13 pi by 6 is equal to 2 pi plus pi by 6. And this is nothing but cos 2 pi means 360. So cos 360 plus theta means cos theta. Now this pi by 6 is actually between 0 to pi. So on comparison we will get x is equal to pi by 6, and this is the principal value of this function. Similarly, find the value of cosec inverse cosec 13 pi by 4. Assume it is x, and the value of x must between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, but it should not be 0 according to the range of cosec function. So this cosec x is equal to cosec 13 pi by 4, but this 13 pi by 4 is actually out of minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So I am using the same concept. This 13 pi by 4 can be written as 2 pi plus 5 pi by 4, like on division, because 4 to 8 plus 5 13 upon 4. So this can be written as 2 pi plus 5 pi by 4, and sine 360 plus theta is sine theta. So sine x is equal to sine 5 pi by 4. On comparison we will get x is equal to 5 pi by 4, but the value of x must between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So means we have to reduce also this value. And again I am writing this theta in the form of 180 minus theta, because sine 180 minus theta is sine theta. So on solving we will get minus pi by 4, and I hope minus pi by 4 lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this x will be minus pi by 4, and this is the exact value of cosec inverse cosec 13 pi by 4. So students, please note one point: you have to revise the whole trigonometry of class 11th, otherwise here you are not in condition to understand this concept properly.